That asked at the commission, he asked a very simple question of Andrea Johnson. He asked, why arrest in the case of Dumisani Khumalo? Why move to arrest? I really hope that people are asking the same question with my case. Why arrest? Why not ask me for a warning statement? They moved to arrest, but you'll see the pretenses of the arrest once we get to Madlanga. We're not going to discuss this here. There's a commission that was formed to investigate this. I've presented the evidence to the commission. I need to go and sit down and read it into the record, and then hopefully the country will understand what's at play and why these people are doing this, but more importantly than that, why they've been getting away with it for so long. It's shocking. I knew it was bad. I've known from day one that it was bad, but it's clear that it's worse than we thought. Well, let me put it to you like this. Parliament is lying. I've got the evidence on my phone. I've sent the evidence to ENCA's editors yesterday. The paper trail is there pertaining to our emails to the Speaker. Every one of the technicians can be asked off the record, on the record, if they worked on my laptop. I'm sure every one of them is going to say yes, they have. So I have no idea why Parliament is getting involved in all of this. And Parliament themselves said it. They don't normally get involved. So maybe they must explain to you why they got involved. Remember, the business of Parliament is to ensure that Parliament's hands are at all times clean. It's not. And if we believe the IGI's submissions to the Gauteng High Court, apparently a minister has been meddling in his affairs. Now, Parliament's not responded to that. But Parliament can jump up and say, no, there's nothing wrong with his laptop. So for me, it's confusing. It's clear that this thing is deeper than we thought. It runs high, possibly to the highest office in the land. It looks like it's going that way. But look, I'm not here to do Madlanga's job. We've got three very competent justices sitting on that bench. I'm just going to present evidence to them. But for today, I'm here to smile at the judge, to show the judge that I act in good faith, that I'm not in breach of my bail conditions. And that's about it. The funny thing is that I have been ordered by the court to inform the people who lied to a magistrate to obtain a warrant for me. I've got to report to those people as to my movements daily.
Suspended Member of Parliament Fadel Adams has criticized the decision to transfer his fraud and administration of justice case to Pinetown Regional Court, describing the move as unnecessary and questioning the resources being devoted to what he maintains are Schedule 1 offences. Adams made the remarks outside the Pinetown Magistrate Court on Friday after making a brief appearance in connection with charges stemming from the separate interviews he conducted with two awaiting trial inmates. The National Coloured Congress leader has been accused of visiting the inmates under the guise of carrying out official parliamentary duties. Among those he interviewed was convicted hitman Sibusiso Ngcengwa, who is serving a prison sentence for the murder of ANC Youth League leader Sindiso Magaqa. The second inmate was former Political Killings Task Team PKTT Sergeant Bonginkosi Dlamini, who was awaiting trial at the time and accused of accepting a 120,000 rand bribe to manipulate evidence linked to murder of ANC branch leader Thulani Khumalo. Dlamini has since been convicted and sentenced to 17 years in prison. The state told the Pinetown Magistrate Court on Friday that its investigation into Adams had been completed and requested that the matter be transferred to the Regional Court for trial. State Advocate Nokulunga Ngcobo informed the court that the docket was ready, paving the way of the prosecution to proceed with the case at regional court level. Adams' lawyer Donovan Mutli told the court that the state had indicated it would provide the defense with the docket within a week. However, Adams questioned how the prosecution could claim the investigations had been finalized while his legal team had not yet received the docket. Speaking outside the court, he said his legal team had been ready to proceed with the matter and was waiting for the state to provide the necessary documentation. He said, you know what? We are ready for court. We've been ready for court before they started, but I can tell you this, once they provide further particulars, then it's game on. He argued that the state should already have handed the docket to his legal representatives on Friday. Adams also took aim at the decision to move the matter to the regional court, questioning why what he described as Schedule 1 charges were being treated with such urgency and resources. He said the offences did not carry a prescribed minimum sentence and suggested that the state's approach was disproportionate, and said if this is the amount of resources they can throw at a Schedule 1 accusation, no wonder killer police are still walking around here in KwaZulu-Natal. Adams further criticized the PKCC, which arrested him earlier this year, claiming that the officers should have not obtained a warrant of his arrest because of the nature of the charges against him. His comments come amid heightened scrutiny of policing and the criminal justice system in KwaZulu-Natal, particularly as the Matlanga Commission continues to hear evidence about allegations of criminality, corruption, and political interference within law enforcement structures. Despite the prospect of a lengthy legal process and the possibility that the case will require him to travel between provinces, Adams said he was prepared to bear the financial burden associated with defending himself. Asked whether he was concerned about the traveling expenses involved in the trial, he acknowledged that justice in South Africa could be costly, but said the expense would not deter him. Said, "I'm not concerned about the money. As broke as I am, we are going to do what is necessary. Ultimately, what we want is to live safely, and it's clear that our safety is compromised by people wearing blue uniforms." He also revealed that separate civil litigation concerning his arrest and detention was expected to be launched in Cape Town within the next 2 weeks. Adams' legal troubles unfolded alongside his involvement with the Matlanga Commission, where he is expected to provide evidence and expected to return to the witness stand. He said he remained ready to testify before the commission on Wednesday and stressed that his appearance was voluntary. He said, "Remember, I requested to come to Matlanga. I wasn't subpoenaed." Adams also addressed questions surrounding his failure to submit an affidavit to the commission on time. Earlier this week, he told the inquiry that problems with his parliamentary laptop had contributed to the delay. According to Adams, he has emails which he believes demonstrate that Parliament was aware of the technical difficulties he had been experiencing. Parliament, however, has disputed his version of events, particularly his claim that he had experienced problems with the laptop for about 18 months. The institution has said there is no record of Adams formally reporting the alleged problem to its Information Technology Department. Adams rejected that explanation, saying he had repeatedly approached IT staff when problems occurred and said, "I walk to IT, they fix it, I leave." He also said he was unaware that he was required to formally lodge a complaint with the IT department every time he encountered a problem. The dispute over his laptop has become another point of contention as the commission examines the evidence and circumstances surrounding Adams' interactions with parliamentary processes and law enforcement. For now, Adams is expected to return to court on September 11, when he is due to make his first appearance in the Pinetown Regional Court. The matter is likely to come under further scrutiny as Adams continues to challenge the state's handling of the case, while simultaneously preparing to give further evidence before the Matlanga Commission. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.